After all your lines are drawn, we're going to go ahead and put the letters in right below the blocks to ensure that you have the right number of boxes for your name. So we're going to look back down here. My first name has 3 letters, and we marked that the R was going to be right in the center. So I'm actually going to write R very small. We're going to use caps on your folder. And then I have the M to the left and the S on the right. Just very small and very lightly, so that when I go to put those letters in, I am doubly sure that I have the correct amount. And then I'm going to look at the bottom. The A and the E are the center letters, so I can go back to the middle. This one was my middle, so on the left I had an A, on the right I had an E, and go ahead and fill in the rest of your name. If you need to make any adjustments, now is the time to do that. So I went all the way over. It looks like my boxes are correct. Now we're going to go ahead and put in the letters. I do have a packet for you. There were instructions for the first 2 videos on here, and there's also instructions on how to do all of the letters of the alphabet in this fashion. For the practice sheet, we're just going to do the capital letters. For your folder, we're going to go ahead and do them in the same way, but if you want to add a little bit of style to it, you could do that as well. So maybe as we're going, kind of think about how you might do that. I added some simple extra lines that made some different angles, and I also added some different shapes for variety. With any of the straight lines, you're going to go ahead and use a ruler, and we'll work slightly inside the box. So I'm going to start with the letter M. When I do my first line, I'm just going to be a little bit inside. We're going to zoom in so you can see that. So I'll go ahead and use my ruler, make sure it's just inside of here. You can go ahead and make this a little bit darker because this will get covered up with a Sharpie. Same thing here, I'm just a little inside. And then I can find the center for my M. We know that the box is 2.5 inches. And we also know that the center would be 3/4. It's right there. So I'm going to use my ruler. To complete the M. Now moving to the R. So any of the letters that have corners, we're just going to round those to make sure we use the entire space. So I have my up and down line right there, and I'm going to go across here and the center, and then I'm going to do a curve. So if you look at the packet for the R, we're just going to round the corners right here to here, but we're still going to use the straight piece. We're going to use the straights as much as possible. So I'm going to go just a little bit inside the block right there, and I'm just going to round them. And go ahead and do this lightly. We're going to cover it with Sharpies so we can erase the extra. The last part of the R is going to go slightly inside there. This one right here, and I'll use a ruler. And the S, we're going to cut all of the corners for the S. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Use that little bit at the top and cut your paper. It'll be easier if you turn your paper. I'm trying not to for the video. Come straight across there, cut the corners. And there you have an S. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my folder. Now you have letters that are easy to read and clear and legible, clear for communication.